In our last video, we have seen how to perform the binary addition. In this particular video, let us see how to perform the binary subtraction. So, binary subtraction also you need to follow four different steps or four different rules you need to follow to perform the binary subtraction. The first rule is 0 minus 0 is equal to 0. The second rule is 1 minus 0 is equal to 1. The third rule is 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. The fourth rule is 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. Now, so these things you know, that is both the values are same. When you subtract two values with the same value, two numbers with the same value, you will be getting 0. Here the larger value is 1 and 0 is not having any value. So 1 minus 0 will be 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0 because both the values are same. Last rule, it is 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. How exactly you are getting 0 minus 1 is equal to 1 in the sense, suppose we have 0 and then 1. Okay. Now while subtracting, what happens is, here the value that is that needs to get subtracted is is greater than the value at the top. So always the topmost value needs to be greater and the lowermost value needs to be lesser whenever you are performing the subtraction. Whereas in this case 0 minus 1, so at that time what happens is the top value is less than the bottom value. At that time what you are doing is you are borrowing the value. Okay, when you borrow the value, here we are performing the binary subtraction. Binary in the sense it is nothing but 2. If you are performing the ordinary decimal subtraction, suppose if you have 5 minus 6, let us consider 2 5 minus 6, something like this. Sorry. You have something like this. What happens is you are borrowing the value. If I borrow the value from this particular value to this particular value, what happens is here you are performing the decimal subtraction. So what happens is you will be getting added with 10. So what happens? 5 plus 10 it is nothing but 15. 15 minus 6 it is nothing but 9. Here what happens is you have already given one value, so here the value becomes 1. 1 minus 1 it is nothing but 0. This is how exactly the ordinary decimal subtraction takes place. Same way, whenever you are performing the binary subtraction, what happens is if you have 0 minus 1, what happens is you have to borrow one value from the other side. Whenever you are borrowing, since this is a binary subtraction, you are borrowing 2. Whereas in the decimal, you will be borrowing 10. Whereas in the binary subtraction, you will be borrowing 2. Now, 2 minus 1, here it becomes 2 minus 1, it is nothing but 1. So, you will be getting 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. This is how exactly you will be getting the value, that is 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. Hope you understand this particular rules. That is, the first rule is 0 minus 0 is equal to 0, 1 minus 0 is equal to 1, 1 minus 1 is equal to 0 and 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. And I have said you how exactly you will be getting 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. That is, when you are borrowing a 1 in the decimal subtraction, you are borrowing 10. Whereas whenever you are borrowing 1 from the binary subtraction, you are borrowing 2. Now what happens is 2 minus 1, automatically you will be getting 1. So this is how exactly you are performing the binary subtraction by using these particular 4 rules. Now let me take an example and then I will illustrate you how exactly to perform the binary subtraction. So what I will do is I will take one value, that is 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 to the base 2 minus 1 1 0 0 0 0. I'll take these two values to the base 2. Okay. Now I will perform this particular binary subtraction on these two values. Okay. Now this value, from this value I have to subtract this value. So this value I will write it on the top. 1 0 0 1 1 1 1. The next value, that is here you have in the first value you have 7 digits, in the second you have 6 digits. So write it from this particular side 0 0 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay. Now we have to perform the subtraction. Let us see how to perform the subtraction, and I will verify whether whatever the value I got is correct or not. So according to the rule, 1 minus 0, it is nothing but 1. 1 minus 0 is again nothing but 1. 1 minus 0 it is 1. 1 minus 0 it is 1. Okay. Now I have 0 minus 1. 0 minus 1 is nothing but, here what happens is I have to borrow from here. Okay. Here also the value is 0. If it is 1, I can borrow it easily. But here the value is 0, so I cannot borrow. Next, what I have to do? I have to borrow from this particular digit. That is, I have to move one value from this particular place to this, and then from here I have to move from this particular place to here. Now, I will illustrate another example so that you can understand this particular example easily. Now, if I have 100 minus 11. Let's consider I have 100 minus 11. So this is ordinary. Let me take 100 minus 22 so that you can understand it better. Now this is the ordinary decimal subtraction, 100 minus 22. So you cannot subtract 2 from 0. So what I will do? I will borrow from this particular value. Again, here also don't have any value, so you cannot borrow anything. So what I have to do is I have to borrow from this particular digit. So what happens is, if I borrow from this particular digit to this particular digit, what happens is I am borrowing 10. Next again, here from here I have to borrow to this particular digit. So what happens is I will borrow another digit. So what happens is here it becomes 10. Here it becomes 9. Now 10 minus 2 it is nothing but 8. 9 minus 2 it is nothing but 7. So this is how exactly you are performing the subtraction. That is, for the first time if I am borrowing, it becomes 10. For the second time if I want to borrow, the first digit whatever I have borrowed becomes 9 and then it becomes 10. Same way here also, what happens is I want to subtract 1 from 0. But I cannot perform this particular subtraction. So what I have to do? I have to borrow from this particular digit. But here also I have 0, so I cannot perform the subtraction. So, sorry, I cannot perform the borrowing. So what I have to do is, I have to borrow from here. So when I borrow here to this particular position, it becomes 2. Correct? Next, what I have to do? I have to borrow from this particular position to this particular position. So what happens is, here the value becomes 2 and the value over here becomes 1. According to this particular example, you can see over here, when I borrow for the first time, it will be 10, and I borrow for the second time, what happens is the first borrowed value becomes 9 and the second borrowed value becomes 10. Now what I am doing, I want to perform the subtraction. Here it becomes 0. Now here what I have to do is 2 minus 1. Okay, it is nothing but 1. 1 minus 1, it is nothing but 0, and here also it becomes 0. So this is the answer which I have got. Let me check whether whatever the answer I have got is correct or not. For that, what I have to do is I will convert these two values to decimal values. So what is the first value I have? 1001111. I have to convert it to the decimal value. 1 into 2 to the power of 0 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 1 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 2 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 3 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 4 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 5 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 6. Okay. 2 to the power of 6, it is nothing but 32. Sorry, 2 to the power of 6, it is nothing but 64 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 5. Anything that is multiplied with 0 is nothing but 0. Plus anything that is multiplied with 0, it is nothing but 0. Plus 2 to the power of 3, it is nothing but 8. 2 to the power of 2, it is nothing but 4. 2 to the power of 1, it is nothing but 2. 2 to the power of 0, it is nothing but 1. Now I will add all these values. 64 plus 8, it is nothing but 72. 72 plus 4, 76. 76 plus 2, it is nothing but 78. 78 plus 1 is nothing but 79. So this value, it is nothing but 79. Now I will convert this particular value now. It is nothing but 110000. Okay. So 0 into 2 to the power of 0 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 1 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 2 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 3 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 4 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 5. So 2 to the power of 5, it is nothing but 32. 2 to the power of 4, it is nothing but 16 plus 0 into anything, it is nothing but 0, 0, 0 and then 0. So what is the value I got? It is nothing but 32 plus 16, it is nothing but 48. Let me subtract these two values. 79, if I am subtracting with 48, I will be getting 1 and then 3. So whatever this value I have got, it should be 31. Let me check whether the answer I have got is correct or not. What is the value I have got over here? It is nothing but 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now I have to convert this particular value to the decimal form. I will just write it over here. So what is the value I have got? 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, 0, 0 followed by 5 ones. So 1 into 2 to the power of 0 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 1 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 2 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 3 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 4 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 5 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 6. Okay. 0 into 0 multiplied with anything, it is nothing but 0 plus 0 into multiplied with anything, it is again 0. 2 to the power of 4, it is nothing but 16. 2 to the power of 3, it is nothing but 8. 8 into 1 is nothing but 8. 2 to the power of 2, it is nothing but 4. 2 to the power of 1, it is nothing but 2. 2 to the power of 0 is nothing but 1. So I am adding all these values. 16 plus 8, it is nothing but 24. 24 plus 4, it is nothing but 28. 28 plus 2, 30. 30 plus 1, it is nothing but 31. So you can see over here, directly if I am subtract also I am getting 31. Even if I am making use of the binary subtraction also I am getting 31. So this is how exactly you are performing the binary subtraction. So I will just repeat it once again. Binary subtraction, whenever you are performing, you need to follow 4 rules. The first rule is 0 minus 0 is equal to 0, 1 minus 0 is equal to 1, 1 minus 0 is equal to 1, 1 minus 1 is equal to 0, 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. And I have shown you how exactly you will be getting 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. That is, if you are borrowing in the binary form, you will be borrowing 2. Whenever you are borrowing something in the decimal form, you will be borrowing 10. So what happens is, you will be getting 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. Next I have taken these two digits and I have performed the subtraction. So 1 minus 0, according to the rule, it is 1. 1 minus 0 it is 1. 1 minus 0 it is 1. 1 minus 0 it is 1. Now next what is the digit you have? 0 and then 1. Because the topmost value, okay, so the topmost value it is 0 and the lowermost value is 1. So you cannot perform the subtraction. So what you have to do is you have to borrow. So here if I am trying to borrow, here also I have 0, so I cannot borrow. Next what I have to do is I have to borrow from this, the next digit, that is called as 1. So when I borrow 1 from this particular digit, here it becomes 2. Okay. Next what I have to do is I have to borrow the value from this particular digit. So what happens is the first borrowed value becomes 1 and the second borrowed value becomes 2. So 2 minus 1, it is nothing but 1. 1 minus 1 is nothing but 0. Here I have taken one value, so you don't have any value, that is will be equal to 0. I have given you the example how exactly the borrowing works. Here I have 100, I want to subtract 22. So you cannot subtract 2 from 0. So what I have to do is I have to borrow. Again here also I have 0, so I cannot borrow. Next what I have to do is I have to borrow from the next digit. When I borrow from the next digit, what happens is 1 to 0, here it becomes 10. I am borrowing 1 in the sense, in the decimal it becomes 10. Next what I have to do is, I have to borrow from this particular value. So what happens is, when I borrow this particular position becomes 10 and this position becomes 9. So 10 minus 2 it is nothing but 8, and then 9 minus 2 it is nothing but 7. So this is how exactly the subtraction works, and I have shown you, I have cross verified also. That is, whatever the answer I have got, this value I just cross verified by converting the binary value to decimal. If you have, this is how exactly you are performing the subtraction. If you have any doubts with this particular topic, you can just contact me. In the further classes, we will be solving 2 or 3 problems in a class, and will be provided with some assignments. If you have any doubts, you can just contact me. Thank you everyone.